So I used to love eating cereal. Then I had to completely stop because there's so much sugar in it. With Magic Spoon, it has zero sugar, only 4 net carbs, 13 grams of protein. So it's low carb, no sugar, gluten free, soy free, grain free, and it's keto friendly, guys. It works for everybody. Check out the link below and grab Variety Pack today. And be sure to use promo code GENIRON5 at checkout to get $5 off any order. Or go to magicspoon.com/GenIron5. And Magic Spoon are so confident in their product. If you don't like it, you get your money back, 100% guaranteed. No questions asked.
I was never going to be a men's physique.
Didn't have much of an off season.
I like his physique better.
I'm always very energetic.
I will have to put me as one of the greatest.
Mr. Olympia was won by the back.
You know, back to Regan, right? So obviously he's very talented, incredibly successful so far in different aspects in fitness and bodybuilding, right? Now, obviously, he joined forces with you. Now, obviously, he's been competing for a few years now, and he's been working probably with some really good coaches. I'm not sure who he worked with, but whatever. Now, what do you do differently? You know what I mean? Like, what is your game plan, and what are you doing differently so far in order to bring him to that, to that top spot?
Okay, so many coaches, many bodybuilders accept mediocrity or just doing what is expected of, what they think. They never really give a thought how to maximize every aspect. Every aspect. It's first thing I said to Regan when we started working. What is your profession? Because if you're a bodybuilder, you do everything. So I said, what is your posing routine? Give me your posing routine, your choreography. I don't have one. I said, what? So you just go on the stage and perform mandatories, which actually is the truth that every open division guy does it. They give zero effort into choreographing routine, picking some signature poses other than mandatories, putting in a great transitions and have effect on the judges and the audience and the sport in general. So that was the first thing. Okay, so you didn't do this. Then how about practicing hitting the abs? Completely blowing it out, making as deep as you can. Legs separate all the way to the hips. So presentation is not what you show; is what you is not what you have; it's what you show. So this aspect. Now dieting. We all do pretty much the same, high protein, but carbohydrates and fat can vary. But then caloric requirement. It's just like what is expected. Did you actually test it? Did you see? How your metabolism works? Did you time it? Did you supply all the nutrients at all times when it's needed so there's no compromises? Like when one nutrient is missing or calorie restricted diet, obviously you cannot maximize it. So for me, even in 2-week period with him, I said, okay, I'm gonna change your caloric input. I'm gonna increase your calories, but I'm gonna drop your carbs completely. So I changed the fuel. I gave him 0 carbs, and so he can use only ketones from fats, to burn more body fat and actually prepare his body that he can super compensate that glycogen and create that illusion of size, which actually worked. So now imagine if you have a 13 months and each and every day you're particular about maximizing the day. Okay, through training, are you just stimulating heavy duty or this or that? Most of the people are doing the same routines for ages. Same exercises, same tempo, same everything, angle, grip, stance, you name it. Why? So if you step in the gym with me and I say, I want a maximum stimulation of maximum amount of muscle fibers of your muscle that we're going to train, and then I really test you and push you and reach that limit, and then push everything nutritionally into the muscle cells as you're training, and then you have a proper recovery and nutrition, not calories. This is another thing. People underestimate their caloric requirement. You want to grow, you have to be in surplus. You can't be in deficit. I made the diets for some pros, and I give them, oh, this is too much food. Some even quit They didn't want to continue with me because I gave them too much food. Guess what? You want to make the castle and you have 3 bricks, you're not going to make nothing. You need thousands of bricks. So is your body. So for Regan, I don't know if you heard, we have a project, Mr. Olympia, because I do believe that if he does everything right, within 3 years, he would be absolute contender for the title.
That's a strong statement, by the way. That's a very strong statement. 3 years, huh?
Yeah, 3 years, I think, is very, very possible. And we're going to try in 2. Of course, he wants to do it in 1, which, you know, he is that motivated and he wants to do it. So if I ask you right now, okay, this is a perfect example. You are in the sport, you follow the sport, you are not necessarily a Regan fan, but I'm going to ask you, who do you think has most aesthetic body at this moment, aesthetically, shapely, in open bodybuilding?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, I actually am a fan of Regan Grimes, 100%. I mean, aesthetically, he looks fantastic. My question is this: how do you see him beating guys like? And this is just an objective question. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big fan of Regan. Like, this is nothing against, obviously. How do you see him matching up? Like right now, there's Nick Walker, right? Nick Walker is very dominant. There's obviously Big Ramy.
In which department? In which department is Nick Walker?
Well,
dominant?
you don't feel that the judges are very rewarding of his physique and the progress he's making?
They were, but let me tell you, even though, so let me rewind for a second. You didn't answer my question, who is the most aesthetic? You just said that you like Regan, but you didn't say, for me, Regan is the most aesthetic guy in bodybuilding.
And actually, your opinion is what matters because you have the eye for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a fan of Regan. Like, I like him for various reasons, and of course, he has a great physique. No, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong.
So for me, you say, like, how can I base my opinion that he can go there? He has the most aesthetically pleasing physique. Shape is beautiful. Now, he has no really weaknesses. Everything is developed. Something needs to grow, needs to be thicker chest, a little bit wider back, better arms, thicker legs. There, you know, but there's no weaknesses. And he has this crazy quality about him. I don't know if you paid attention. Like, he has striations through the lower back, lower lats, mid and upper traps. Everything is striated fully. Same thing for chest, shoulders, feathers on the quads, hamstring, glutes. Ridiculous. So I'm visualizing that with extra muscle mass, a little bit extra fullness. Can he be super competitive and beating the guys? So yeah, shape, balance, the proportions. Yeah, he can beat anybody.
Do you feel like if he does put on that muscle mass that you're talking about, he might lose some of that conditioning that you learned about him?
No, I don't think so, because especially with the style of training that I would have. You see, a lot of guys are just going to the gym to lift weights, pound the heavy weights and all that stuff. And I don't think you've seen ever a power lifter striated, shredded, you know, defined, all this stuff. And a lot of heavy-duty proponents, they don't have that chiseled, fibrotic, striated physique. So with Regan, I'm insisting on full range of motion, maximum contraction, maximal lengthening, maximal shortening, prolonged time under attention. So I can actually just visualize. My plan is to get these striations and fibers even more noticeable. I mean, they're noticeable now. So if they're even more noticeable and a little bit bigger, how dangerous would he be? Now, just to go back, so Nick Walker doesn't take it against me. I think that Nick Walker won Arnold Classic within 5 seconds of being on the stage. So I'm going to say that. I said this earlier. He was so dominant because nobody else could actually compare in other aspects. He was a freak in great condition. And then he had chiseled deep abs that would create the illusion of more aesthetic physique and conditioned very well and humongous. So he really dominated in this lineup, but put him next to more pleasing, like let's say Hunter Labrada. Hunter Labrada was not maybe in the same condition as Nick, but he beat him fair and square to any of us that know what they're looking for. I know there was a lot of debates like Hunter should not beat Nick because conditioning. There is much more than just conditioning. Labrada was in fair conditioning, not great, but he had the structure, he had a shape, he had a, more and more strong points. So this is how I see it. Would Nick Walker still be a potential for Olympia title? Hell yes. I mean, mass monsters, if they came in crazy condition, could be again flavor of the day, so to speak.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. The judges seem to be really gravitating toward. It's not just Nick Walker. I'm using it as an example. Right? There's also Big Ramy. There's Ian, obviously, and then Hunter Labrada. Like they all, you know what I mean? They all have something similar. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Regan, who I think is amazing. What I'm saying is like, if he's going to chase the plan is to kind of, obviously he's aesthetically, very pleasing. What I'm saying is the goal to get the mass going, right? Is that sort of what you're saying?
His goal is to get him bigger, of course, because with this size, he would not contest for the title. I mean, we all know that most beautiful shape. I would say this: ask a million people whose physique they would like to take for their own, and many is going to pick Regan because he has
100%. I agree with you, 100%.
Okay, so but now that's the question, and is this a freak show or a beauty show? Is this going to be just a freak muscle mass, or is it going to actually have to be beauty and shape and balance to it? So Brandon Curry being so close, being second 2 years in a row, Phil Heath being third last year and Hadi fourth. Now Hadi was third, right? So they're still looking, for a shapely physique and aesthetic. You can say that Brandon is extremely aesthetic, extremely. That this is pretty much also ideal shape, small waist, flaring lats, X-frame, V-taper, round muscle bellies, and he pushed Ramy. It's not like Ramy had a cakewalk. And I think especially Hadi Chupan pushed Ramy, especially at the finals. If it went to Hadi Chupan, I wouldn't be against it.